Everyone, back tuning into today's video. Got a very lively day's weather ahead of us. We had a band of really heavy rain pushing northwards across the country overnight. That is now up across north-east England and eastern parts of Scotland. That'll be pushing further northwards and eastwards through Scotland this afternoon. And then lots of really heavy showers and thunderstorms following along behind. So it's going to be a very active afternoon. We'll have a look at all the detail on that in a moment, and then we'll see where things are going as we head towards the end of May and possibly towards the start of June. Before I get on with it all, though, I just want to talk about the advertising. There's video ads on my pages at gazworthins.com, and you hit play on the video ad, be supporting gazworthins.com. Thanks so much for doing that. So here's the radar picture from the weatheroutlook.com, and there's the very heavy band of rain that moved northwards across the country last night, gave anything up to 20 to 30 millimetres. That is now stuck across northeastern England and eastern Scotland just at the moment. A very depressing day up there, a cold wind coming in off the North Sea, and bouts of really heavy rain, and that's going to push northwards and eastwards, say through Scotland during the course of this afternoon into this evening. It will sort of die down. The rain also extends back down towards Wales and southwest England, but it's turning lighter down there as it pushes off in towards the Irish Sea. But look at all these heavy showers following on behind, really vibrant colours mixed in there, reds, yellows, reds, even hints at white. That is proper sort of downpour type conditions just coming onto the south coast. Let's see if there's any lightning and thunder in with that. We can shift this over to the lightning detector device, and yes, there is. Look at all this lightning coming up through the channel in towards southern parts. There's also a few storms breaking out down in southwest. Not a great deal of lightning just at the moment, but those storms will push out of the channel into central southern parts of England, and then we'll sort of build up homegrown storms anyway across England and Wales through the course of this afternoon. So a very lively afternoon. Things really blow up. There may be a storm watch update on the storm watch page later on this evening, or later on this afternoon into this evening sometime later on anyway. So here's the high resolution Euro 4 model from the website Weather Online. You can find a link to Weather Online on my links page, and by the way, you can find a link to weatherout.com and check out that radar picture and lightning detector device on my links page as well. So there was a situation that the model was predicting at 6 o'clock this morning with that really heavy rain pushing northwards. Of course, now we've pushed that off up towards Scotland, so there it is across eastern Scotland down into northeastern parts of England, also leaving Wales and southwest England. There's the very heavy showers coming into the south. We've already looked at those on the radar picture, and then look how things really blow up through the course of this afternoon. Actually, it turns a little bit drier for a time along the south coast, but through Wales, the Midlands, East Anglia, Lincolnshire, very heavy showers breaking out this afternoon. Torrential downpours in places, lightning, thunder and hail, no doubt. That persistent rain turning lighter and patchy as it pushes northwards and eastwards, northwards and westwards I should say, out of eastern Scotland. So a little bit light with the rain up there, but those showers will be very beefy down across England and Wales, and stretch out into Ireland as well through the course of this afternoon into this evening. At midnight things turn a little bit quieter. The showers are sort of dying off a little bit, still quite wet though up across Scotland. By 6 o'clock in the morning though, more showers are starting to push up from the south, and again some of those could be really quite heavy, possibly with a risk of thunder. And then through the course of Friday, well, it's a case of lots of showers really across England and Wales. There will be some drier slots in between, probably not quite so many showers as is the case today, but there'll be plenty of showers around tomorrow across England and Wales, with risk of hail and thunder mixed in. Once again, things will be drier up across Scotland. And then the Euro 4 model, by the time we get through to midnight on Saturday, still keeps those showers going. Looks like there's more actually heavy rain coming out of northern France that could impact us through the course of Saturday. So it's a very sort of unsettled spell of weather coming up over the next couple of days. We really are going to be in for some big rainfall totals at times, I think. Just have a look at how the central England temperature is going. This is the central England temperature from Hadley for May, and we can see, I don't know if you can make it out, but we can see that central England temperature for May currently stands at a very warm 12.6 degrees. That is an anomaly of 1.8 degrees below average. So yeah, 12.6 is the current central England temperature across central England. 1.8 degree above average is the anomaly. I think that's a little bit overdone, actually. I think when we get to the end of the month, that's going to be corrected down maybe quite a bit, actually, because we had some cold nights at the start of the month that weren't particularly taken into account with that. So I'm not sure the month is actually as warm as that's suggesting. But even so, it's going to be another above average month, continuing the string of above average months that we've had since January. Well, actually since December, but you can't see December on here because it goes back to last year. But certainly every month so far this year has come out substantially above average. May will come out above average as well. Just don't think it's going to be quite such a big anomaly as we've been having through the year. I don't think it's going to be as big an anomaly as that suggests. But nevertheless, it's going to be another warmer than average month. And no doubt after the next few days, it'll be a wetter than average month as well. Temperature anomalies for the coming week actually suggest a little bit cooler than average. Here we go from the 22nd of May to the 30th of May, and well, Scotland coming out a little bit above average, but elsewhere we're very slightly below average or near normal to slightly below average. Very warm still across most of the continent, but it's still this idea of an east-west split, really. The coolest anomalies are in the west, through Ireland, United Kingdom, France, Spain, Portugal. Anywhere eastwards of that is pretty warm across Europe. Have a look at the precipitation anomaly for the coming week. It's going to be above average. There's the blue colours there across the British Isles, suggesting anything up to 150 to 300% of the average. So a very wet period coming up. And much of that is going to be falling through the next day or two, actually, with these really heavy showers. Have a look at the generic charts going out to the start of June. Here we go with the GFS model. This is for next week, the 27th of May. We've got high pressure trying to build to the north of the country, but look at this area of low pressure over Germany and the Low Countries. That is going to push from east to west into the British Isles by the look of it through the middle of next week. You remember a couple of days ago I showed you the ECMWF which was showing this, and I sort of rubbished the idea, saying that it's a very unusual development and not likely to come off. Well, all of the models are sort of going with this idea now, that we're going to bring low pressure from the east in across the country. It's quite unusual, but it does happen at times, and certainly that's the idea for next week anyway. But low pressure will drift in from the east, particularly impacting England and Wales. Could bring some really quite wet weather at times through the course the middle of next week. That low pressure sort of hangs around across the country as we go towards the end of next week. High pressure trying to build in on Friday the 30th of May, but it doesn't really make it. As we go through to June the 1st, Sunday the 1st of June, 10 days away, we bring another area of low pressure in off the Atlantic this time. So yeah, it turns unsettled from the west as we get through to the first day of June on the current GFS run. Going beyond that though, through the first week of June, and this will be the focus for tomorrow's video when we have the update from the Japanese model for the coming month. It looks as though high pressure could try to build up from the Azores as we go through the first few days of June. Here we are on the 5th of June. It's a long way out. It's 348 hours away. But it shows high pressure is building up from the south, possibly bringing us something a lot warmer and drier for the first week or so of June. I say we'll have a good detailed look at June in the update in tomorrow's video, but it's just the idea there, and the GFS is picking up on this quite a bit, that pressure could start to build from the Azores early on in June. But getting back to next week, again, here's the ECMWF with that low pressure over Germany and the Low Countries on Wednesday. Watch it drift in and develop as we go through into Thursday the 29th. It's there over England and Wales. Could be bringing heavy rain, certainly the risk of more thunderstorms in from the east across England and Wales. Probably not too bad for Scotland, because we're very close to this ridge of high pressure building in from the Atlantic. And then that low pressure stays in situ really over the country as going towards the end of next week. This is Friday the 30th of May. Low pressure still there, bringing showers, longer spells of rain, no doubt risk of thunderstorms. As we get through to the last day of May, the low pressure is still there, so it doesn't move off. Just continue to produce more showers. But by the time we get through to Sunday the 1st of June, just besides that, the low pressure is drifting away to south, possibly allowing this build of high pressure start to come in off the Atlantic, although we'd be having to watch out for this low pressure that's sitting around Denmark and the Baltic Sea. If that decided to take the same track as the low pressure through the middle of the week and come in from the east, again it would bring a lot of wet weather in from the east across the country. Winds are from the north or northeast as well, so it will be pretty cool on that sort of scenario. But if this high pressure does get in from the Atlantic through the first week of June, and I'm not sure which way this could go. It could go either way, really, the east central. It could topple in that high pressure, or this low pressure coming out of the east could be the dominating factor, so it could go either way. But if that high pressure did topple in, it wouldn't take that long to start warming things up through the first week of June. And that sort of scenario that the GFS is going for quite regularly on its sort of extended range. So I think we're in for a very unsettled spell now for the rest of May anyway. Going to be really unsettled today. As I say, big showers and thunderstorms, persistent rain in the north. We'll keep lots of showers going through the bank holiday weekend. And then we'll watch out low pressure coming in from the east next week. Could bring some very wet weather at times as well through the middle of next week. So very unsettled up to the end of May. Going into June, we're going to have to watch out for what happens. It's uncertain. We may start to build in high pressure from the Azores. If we do, it could warm up quite a lot through the first week of June. June will be the focus for, excuse me, for the video tomorrow when we have the update from the Japanese model. So come back to that if you're interested in what could happen through June. But very unsettled for the rest of May. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.